Is it on now?
I think so.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Yeah, it
I'm
looks like
sure.
it is.
Oh yeah, there we go. Hey guys,
They'll let us know if they can hear us.
yeah,
or not.
yeah. I want you all to know that the other night Aiden and I played poker and I cleaned him out.
I thought I hated gambling a lot, and then I woke up the next morning and I was like, "Oh wow, I did not realize how tired I was yesterday."
He was an EP baby.
It got to the point where I lost a couple hands. I still had like $10, and I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. Went all in on a hand, and Yackle cleaned me out.
It was it got to the point where there were just 4 of us left. 3 of us left actually, I think. Yeah, it was me, Cat, and Yackle.
Yep.
And see, I noticed something. First of all, Cat was a little silly. And also,
Happens.
it's Pride Month, so I took advantage of her newfound confidence.
Her newfound glory.
I hate you. Yeah, so I was working on that. I was like, all right. She's feeling very very solid right now. She's feeling like the world's at her fingertips. And then she proceeded to actually do very well.
Yeah, I will say it was all downhill from there for you because I know I had to. Because there was a couple hands where you lost, and I was pretty well asleep until I heard the screams, and I just look over, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
No, do you know what that was?
No, I have no idea.
We're sitting there playing poker, and I get quite possibly one of the worst hands ever. I think it was like a 2 and a 7.
Yeah,
We're playing Hold'em. And
gotta know when to fold them.
yeah, and I'm sitting there, and first I think I folded before the flop. So I had a 2, I had a 7. Brian puts like $2 in. Cat matches. I'm like, okay, they've got heat in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Like they've each got a pair already. I have a 2 and some other random card. Sitting there and I'm like, I'm gonna fold. Flop happens. Cards go out. There's a 2. Like, oh, I could have had a pair, but that's a low pair. 2.
yeah.
Come on, that's nothing. Especially if they're that confident. I'm sitting there, and as the cards keep going out, I know what it was. I had a 2 and I had a king, I think. Cards go out. Now there's a king. Or no, it was like a jack. It was basically it was working out that like I can't remember exactly what happened. I think I had like a king high or something, and there wasn't a king on the board. I can't remember the exact details. All I remember,
So like high card in a pair.
yeah, last card goes down. It's a 2. Neither Cat nor Yackle
Had
had
anything?
3 of a kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I would have won, and
Yeah.
the pot at that point was like $25.
Oh my god.
I would have. I did end up coming away with the most cash, which was nice. But
That's the problem though. That's the tough part of the game. Like, so I was.
I want to keep doing it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I at one point I had a 4 and a 6, and there was a 7 and an 8 on the table or something, and I was waiting for a 5, and I was just like, come on, and like that's not how you're supposed to play because
No,
like
it's
it's
not.
very risky, but like, it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, I don't know, man. By the time we were done, I was like, ooh. I mean, we could get to the casino. I was like, I see why this is a problem, and people get addicted to this. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's-
My problem is I don't enjoy the thrill of the win. I just like I sit there and I'm like I sit there and try to make money.
Yeah.
I treat it like a job. So if I'm losing money, I'm angry, and if I make money, like even if I get up, I'm like,
I
yeah,
was-
it's about time.
I was channeling Ted Mosby from that one episode of How I Met Your Mother. I'm literally like, we built Chip City. We built Chip City on all your dough built.
Incredible.
And only Brian knew what I was referencing. Anyway, Aiden, tell me about the triangles.
I will after I acknowledge the fact that you brought up Cat, so I'm going to bring it up again. Those of you who were unkind last week,
Oh boy.
I'm going to be unkind to you and your entire family.
Oh no.
Be gentle, be nice. It is Pride Month, and we respect women here at the lodge. Thank you very much.
We respect women.
Yeah,
You didn't tell me that part.
okay. Well,
I thought I've been.
okay.
I should. If you had told me that a while ago,
I thought
you got to let me in on these things.
I thought you learned from example.
I don't. You've known me for 10 years,
I
and you
know.
think I'm going to learn from example?
We'll cover
Anyway,
it.
apparently we respect women here, as I am learning right now.
It's it's a new rule. We're implementing it. Anyway,
I can't believe that wokeness has infected the lodge.
We're gonna get comments.
I mean, if somebody doesn't pick up on the satire there's another word we're not allowed to use.
Yeah, it's coming around.
It's coming around.
Yeah.
It's coming back. And I am here for it because I have not had a word strong enough for the flat earthers in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta put them in their place.
Also, if it still happened, we don't know. But to Annabella and Jake,
if
sorry,
it still happens,
just making sure. Sorry. Sorry we missed your wedding. Sorry we missed your wedding. We just weren't able to get out there. We had to save up for the trip. You know, I don't like to presume. Things occur. We don't know them. It could have been a shotgun involved. I'm gonna assume not. But yeah, congrats if this still happened. So happy for you. Hope you're on your honeymoon right now. And yeah, let us know. Keep us updated. Thanks. I presume nothing at this point.
Okay. All right. What is the card that reads grandson up there?
That's to you.
What is going on in this building?
That's to you.
Oh.
That's
Who's it from?
from Nana and
Oh, Nana and Papa Doug.
yeah.
Why is it here?
Because we just cleaned up that whole corner. Well, Sophie cleaned it up almost entirely.
Oh, we had the intern do something.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. And yeah, that was there. I don't know when it's from. Was it from your birthday like last year?
It must be, yeah.
Well, what? Which one?
What? Oh, there's another wedding.
There's another
We
one?
missed another wedding.
Wait, you found it? Is this the other invite?
We lost these.
Yeah, this
Like,
one
if
we
you've been
couldn't
wondering
find.
why we didn't respond, it's because we lost them.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, it's fine. She's part of the lodge now. That track.
You watch it.
Yeah, so to Destiny and Benjamin, if this still happened back in April, we're so happy for you. Your honeymoon should be over by now. If not, something probably went either too right or too wrong. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys successfully tied the knot and if anything else noteworthy happened on...
I mean, maybe that happened on the honeymoon too.
What? This has been a show of all time tonight.
Oh yeah, this is one of the shows. I intended to just open the show by asking Aiden to describe a triangle. Do you want to describe a triangle for us?
What do you mean by triangle?
A triangle, a shape with three corners.
What kind of shape with three corners are you specifically referring to?
The one that I didn't expect this to go this way. Okay, Peterson. Yeah.
This is what you asked for.
I know. I just expected it to. I didn't expect to have to explain this much.
I guess you haven't watched him lately.
No.
Oh yeah, he's been bad.
I was expecting some metaphysics. This is just asking me further questions about the definition.
Watch the Jubilee thing he just did.
Yeah, I saw that he did not do so great. It was very fun that they had to rename the episode because it started as one Christian versus 20 atheists, and then it was like
The thing that doesn't make any sense is he agreed to the show.
yeah.
Like, there's no way they didn't tell him what the title was going to
Yeah,
be.
no, it should have been like Mike Jones from Inspiring Philosophy.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot better.
My concern is just the fact that he consistently refuses to call himself a Christian and yet also, like, religiously defend. Like, he's basically an apologist at this point.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, the plan tonight was to talk about triangles and not the shapes.
No, the weird things.
Yes.
Also the shapes.
Well, the weird things happen inside of triangle-shaped regions. Yeah, I did see. So we talked about the Bennington Triangle. We talked about the Bridgewater Triangle. Obviously, we're going to have to talk about the Bermuda Triangle. But somebody in the comments was like, hey, guys, you should talk about the Alaska Triangle. And I am not meaning to be rude to this person. However, I looked up the Alaska Triangle. Aiden, do you want to look up the Alaska Triangle and put it on the screen
I
for
do.
people?
I'm going to imagine that it's basically the whole state, but...
I don't think anybody is prepared for...
Oh, yeah, no, it's basically the whole state.
You want to pull that up?
Yeah, let's see if I can do this here.
Because oh,
Come on.
this is rapidly getting out of hand.
Yeah, it always is.
All
right, this'll do. This
will do, Pig. This will do. Show them the
yeah,
triangle.
I'm working on. Hang on, I gotta figure out.
You fool. This is what I get.
This is what happens. There we go. All right. Bada bing, bada boom, and a starry.
So that's the Alaska Triangle.
Yep.
I need you guys to understand that that is an area that spans about the size of the entire eastern seaboard.
Yep.
That's like saying, hey, there's this weird triangle and it's just California. Like, also, it doesn't include half of the weird places in Alaska. Like, I don't think Portlock's on there.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, you can't just call you can't just slap triangles on a map and say it's weird.
Yeah, but Mattis, you forget. Object permanence? Go burr.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so the Alaska Triangle, that's like just a huge swath of territory where it's probably statistically weird that more things don't happen.
Yeah,
Um,
that's actually a very valid point.
I'm happy to look into stuff that happened in the Alaska Triangle. I don't know that I would argue it's a very reputable area because it's a little too large. The Bennington Triangle on the other hand is a little too small, and only like 6 things happened there.
Oh?
Yeah, we did a video on it, and you edited it.
No, I was paying half attention. I thought you were still talking about the Alaska Triangle.
No, Bennington. That was
Yeah.
Bennington. It's like there's 6 disappearances that happen in this region. Most of them don't happen near each other.
Mhm.
Only 2 of them really did. Those are the weird ones.
Yep.
One of them is like, hey, an autistic kid's mom left him sitting in the cab of her truck for 45 minutes, and when she got back, he was gone, as they're next to like a major roadway
Yep.
in the 40s.
Yeah, some missing persons cases are not mysteries.
No. Another one of them was an not older woman, but a middle-aged woman, and it's like you look at the story. She disappears while on a hike, and then she's found months later. Her body's in like a reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
It's very obvious what happened to this woman. It even says that she tried to take a shortcut home. She took a shortcut, ended up in a reservoir, and drowned. What's the mystery? Like, what? This is not a mystery. This is not a triangular kind of thing. There's a How I Met Your Mother gag. Enigmas of the Mystical. It's an old book series that Marshall references where it's like,
Have you been rewatching the show lately?
yes.
Okay.
And one of the examples that's given is it's like Tucson, Arizona. A woman makes a tuna sandwich in the Chesapeake Bay, Maryland, at almost exactly the same time. Her daughter is compelled to make nearly exactly the same sandwich, and it's chicken salad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a coincidence or an enigma of the mystical. Like, that's how I feel like most of these things are.
Yeah.
That is David Politis to me at this point.
What do you mean? The entirety of Pennsylvania is a cluster.
Gonna scream. I have yet to. There are 39 Pennsylvania cases. I have yet to come across one that's completely inexplicable.
We are going to finish the series soon, by the way.
Probably this week.
Yeah.
I mean, this Friday you're getting Mara Murray Part 2.
Yeah. So next week.
Yeah, Mara Murray Part 2, by the way, is probably 50% me just ripping James Renner apart. So I hope you enjoy that.
Every time you say James Renner, I ignore the first name and immediately think of Jeremy Renner.
That's fair. He's
Poor
the
man.
cooler Renner.
He is the coolest Renner.
Objectively the
arguably.
cooler Renner. It's
Yeah.
amazing that man is alive.
I know. And it's also amazing that Disney tried to offer him like a fraction of his normal salary.
Oh, yeah. Disney is in trouble. We were talking about this on Pop Culture Crisis last week.
Yep.
Like, Disney lost something like $4 billion on Disney Plus.
What?
Yeah. They also spent $650 million just to make Andor, which is actually, when you look at it, it's $27 million an episode. It's not that much.
Yeah.
Considering they're hour-long episodes. But like, streaming is not profitable, apparently.
No, it's not profitable when you do that many shows.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is, sorry, we're going into pop culture crisis here a little bit, but the biggest problem that I mean, let's be fair, Disney's.
Does this show have a theme anymore?
No, never. That's yeah. You guys are the real ones. You don't care. You're just happy to be here. So are we. Honestly, we're just. It's a family. The real thing, and I don't know if you ever brought this up on Pop Culture Crisis, but like Disney runs not as a movie studio. It does not run as a theme park. It does not run as a merchandise seller. It runs as all of those things. So their goal is to make a product that will then generate profit in multivariate formats.
Yep.
So if they lose big time on films, it doesn't matter as long as they recoup it in people who go to the parks and people who buy the toys.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're able to lose money in entire facets of their business, so long as essentially that functions as a marketing strategy for the rest of their business.
Yeah, it is.
Which is extremely smart, but unfortunately for the general audience, sometimes that can be difficult.
Yeah. We could do an entire series of shows just on how bad Disney Star Wars has been. I kind of want to do that, to be perfectly honest, but that's not the purpose of this channel.
Yeah. I did actually. I had the Phantom Menace on this morning while I was doing some editing.
It
and
holds
stuff.
up
Yeah.
surprisingly well.
Well,
it's mostly the lightsaber duels.
Did you see what I sent you on TikTok earlier today?
No.
Trump's quote, but it is in the voice of Palpatine, and it matches a little too well.
What's the quote?
Pull it up.
Okay. Where's TikTok? I'm gonna do it so people understand.
Yeah.
A once great American city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals.
Yeah, wow, that's
Oh, wait till you get to
Yeah.
the.
I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, in coordination with all other relevant departments and agencies, to take all such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion.
oh my god.
It literally sounds.
It really
like-
does sound like Palpatine.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's I love how we're living in this timeline of all timelines.
Yep.
We hit the jackpot here.
Does that make JD Vance Anakin Skywalker?
I think it might.
You
He is married to an elegant woman from an exotic place.
and he is emo.
He is emo. Do you think Anakin the couch?
Without a doubt.
Oh yeah, Anakin would totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. Especially on that desert planet.
Oh, boy.
Or in the Jedi Temple alone.
Oh god.
Only
there's a lot
thinking
of
about
couches.
Padme. Yeah.
A lot of cushions in that temple.
Who's Obi-Wan? Bernie's Yoda. AOC is Ahsoka. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All
I
right.
hate that. Please no. I do not know who I would peg for Obi-Wan. Potential hot take: Elon Musk is Ki-Adi-Mundi.
No, he feels more like Dooku.
No.
Actually, no.
Ki-Adi-Mundi's
Dooku's too suave.
race has very few males, and so he has many wives that he's allowed to. have children with.
Oh, I
He's not allowed
see.
to have an emotional.
I see.
connection
You're
with
going
them.
deep cut. Got it.
Yeah. Much like Elon Musk, he has a very large head
Yes.
and many wives whom he does not have any connection to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
valid. That's
See?
incredible. Yeah, I see this. I see that. So we're actually slowly turning into a Star Wars commentary podcast.
What I like about this one is that we have very broadly covered the political spectrum.
Yeah, we hate everybody.
Yeah, as I have many times said, I challenge you to place me on the spectrum.
Well,
Stop. Bad. We were supposed to be talking about shapes.
Old Republic greater than Empire. People
We
are
are
liking this,
supposed to be
apparently.
talking about shapes.
And colors?
No, just shapes.
Oh,
Yeah, no. We don't see color at the lodge.
unless it's lightsaber colors.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, going back to it. Now that I've looked at a couple of these triangles, now that I've observed the triangles, what I'm noticing is that people just like to group things together to create a sense that something mystical is going on. And what I really got to give David Politis credit for is that the man has not used a single triangle.
Yeah, honestly, that's respectable.
It's very he uses clusters, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't try and connect it to a Euclidean shape.
I was gonna go try and make another physics joke, but I all I could think of was non-Newtonian fluids, and that doesn't really jive with
No.
anything in there.
I'll show you a non-Newtonian fluid.
There's a joke I thought of, but I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, you can.
No, I can't.
This show is a deeply unserious podcast at this point.
It is. I'm amazed anybody watched.
Yeah, no, I totally lost my train of thought with the triangles thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so
You used to
they're
like
not
kind of
weird.
interview me on stuff, and without that, I'm lost.
So most triangles are not weird. When are we gonna cover the actually weird one?
Lost without you. What? Not during Pride Month.
We're never gonna beat the allegations anyway. Just get your hand over here. Someone clip that and zoom in on it.
I don't like this.
Anyway, all right, no. So we covered Bennington Triangle. It's not really that weird. What about
It's really
Bridgewater?
not. Yeah, so we haven't talked about Bridgewater yet in a podcast form because it was kind of silly.
You were also away.
What?
You were also away.
Yeah. So I'm bleeding a little bit. That's funky.
People are gonna think we're on drugs.
I have had a lot of caffeine today. And also whatever's in those Hims chewable tablets that are supposed to help your hair. I'm having a bit of a panic, guys. It's fine. Anyway, Bridgewater Triangle. I was, first of all, very shocked to discover that it is not nearly as well known as it was based on the number of comments we've received asking us to cover it. I was like, oh, this is probably going to be something with a lot of coverage. I think I found maybe 3 videos that had more than 200,000 views.
Really?
Yeah. It was not a lot. The channel top 5s, which I guess used to be a Simon Whistler project. It isn't anymore. 3 million subscribers, 128,000 views. There are more views on our video in which I make fun of that video than that video has.
God, we're in such a weird position.
Yeah. But what really got me about that is I want to be honest. The top 5s video was not in any way worse than the book about it. It was the same level of rigor, just kind of out of left field.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got the stories that's like, oh, there's been Bigfoot sightings in the Bridgewater Triangle. And then what are the listed things? Either there is absolutely no source for it. It has a source, but that source is Uncle Jim Bob down at the drive-in. Or there were sightings of a bear, but the police said it wasn't a bear. And then I read the news reports from the time, and guess what the police said, Aiden?
It was a bear.
It was a bear. So I think I would say a solid 90% of Bigfoot sightings I've looked into at this point have either been bears, bears that were misidentified as something else, hallucinations, or just completely made up.
But how do you feel about the new ASMR content that he's doing?
Bigfoot?
Yes.
What?
Have you not seen this yet?
No?
Oh, it's all over TikTok.
Did you see there was a Bigfoot sighting recently? I forget exactly where it was. Did you see the video, though?
Yeah.
I love it. They're like, oh my God, look out there. Like, first of all, why is anybody looking out there? How did you even see that?
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's like some bushes, and then Bigfoot just goes.
Yep.
And it is the most obvious monkey suit that I have ever seen. And I don't understand how we keep having this happen. That you'll have the most obvious fraud ever, and millions of people online just eat it up.
Because they want to believe.
I want to believe.
Okay, you have a slightly higher bottom floor for acceptability than most people.
I will say my favorite Bigfoot sighting still is the ones in California where it was the 1870s, and there are people who are like, I saw a gorilla in them there hills. And you realize that none of these people have ever in their lives seen a gorilla.
Not like barely even a drawing.
Yeah, the gorilla-strations.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's like and that caught me off guard. I was like, there's no way the gorilla is that recent of a discovery. Now, of course, there were African tribes who had told of the gorillas. But to be fair, if you're some European guy who shows up in Africa in the 1700s and the local tribe is like, there are very large monkeys, like huge 7 to 8 foot tall monkeys, and they live out in the mountains and they eat leaves, you too would be skeptical.
Yeah.
So it's not until like the 1840s that a European person lays eyes on a gorilla and reports its existence to the outside world. So like, unless you're part of one of these few communities that are near where the gorillas are, you think the gorillas are made up. You know how they got the term gorilla?
How?
It's not a local term. It isn't like they asked the local tribesmen, hey, what do you call these giant monkeys? And they were like, gorilla. No, it came from a story about Carthaginians encountering hairy women that lived on an island, and they called them gorillae.
Seriously?
Yes.
Do we know?
It's not, the Carthaginians did not see gorillas.
No. I know, but now
They're
I'm
in the wrong spot for it.
now I'm curious what the local term for gorilla was and or is.
No idea. I know nothing of African languages.
Fair.
You can look it up if you want to look up what did the locals call the mountain gorillas. But yeah, no. So it's like the 1840s that they first document the existence of gorillas outside of Africa. And then I think the first picture of a gorilla doesn't get to America until like the 1880s.
That's actually nuts.
Also, the illustrations of gorillas do not look like gorillas. They look like Bigfoot. What did you look up?
What is the native term for gorilla?
No idea.
Etymology.
Yeah, the etymology of the term gorilla itself is going to be from...
Yeah, but I'm just curious, like... Oh, that's a much smaller distribution of them.
Oh, yeah,
Their habitat
you
than I
have
would've
Trust me, most people have a very inaccurate estimation of how widespread gorillas are.
Yeah, that is a very small pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Africa's a massive continent, but like that covers
It's like a 20th of Africa,
if that.
if that.
It is
Also, of course, there's the mountain gorillas and the lowland gorillas, similar to how there are highland and lowland Scots, which are also large apes. Get mad at me for that, I dare you.
Yeah, anyway, there's too much in there to look through, but
yeah, so the gorilla illustrations don't like make it to America in like the 1860s and 1870s, but you don't get photographs over here until later than that. And the first gorilla shows up in like 1910 at a zoo.
Yep.
Like, could you imagine living 200 years ago and somebody describes a gorilla to you and you have no frame of reference for it?
I can't imagine living 200 years ago and having any frame of reference for almost anything that we encounter on a daily basis.
It's a fair point.
Like, think about it. Like, those people had to imagine what a gorilla looks like, and we grew up with Harambe.
Yeah, and Gen Alpha didn't.
They still know.
Harambe, peace be upon him.
We really are in the most violent timeline.
It's great. Yeah.
Is
no,
it?
It's great. I am expecting the collapse. I will thrive in the collapse.
Once you get your new glasses.
Once I get my new glasses. And once I finally call Kellen about having him write that book for us. Jeez. I keep forgetting to do that. Sorry, Kellen. I am very scatterbrained. I am a scatterbrained individual.
Well, he did send a super chat not
What's it
long
say?
ago saying that the Star Wars talk is awesome as I am building a 1,023-piece Lego of Jin Darin's Razor Crest while watching.
Woo!
Also, I call being Porkins. Which, like, you know what?
Fair.
So valid.
They made a 10,000-piece Helldivers 2 Super Destroyer Lego set, and I want it.
I would love to meet the marketing and the finance department of Lego because they have got to be some of the most well-paid people of all
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
Like, that is a company that prints money.
They made something ridiculous before they made blocks, and I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Was it like wood toys?
What did Lego make during World War II? That's a that was okay. Wooden toys like ladders, ironing boards, and Christmas tree stands.
Oh, so I was right.
The war caused a shift in production as imports were halted, which favored the sale of Danish goods. Following the war, plastics became available and Lego began experimenting with them, eventually launching the first plastic bricks called automatic binding bricks in 1949. Automatic binding bricks.
Yeah, that'll get people in the door. Where'd they come up
Okay.
with the term Lego?
I'm going to look it up. Where did the term
We're all
Lego
learning today.
come from? Oh, it comes from the Danish phrase "leg godt," which translates to "play well."
That's kind of cute.
Yeah. What
Anyway.
isn't cute is what the Danes were undergoing during World War II.
No, definitely not.
They did they surrender before the French, or did they hold out longer?
You're going to know way more likely than I will.
Can't remember. The Swedes kind of collaborated. That gets swept under the rug.
I did pull out
I
a
hope so.
really our families watch this.
Fair point.
During my dad's birthday dinner.
It's a very good time to do that.
Yeah,
I'm
knew you were
sorry.
gonna say. There was something that we covered on History Unhinged that the Butter Wars. Not the Butter Wars, but like the hatred between North and Southern Italy, the butter line of olive oil and butter. Yeah. That I remember, just like kind of like it.
Oh yeah, Northern Europeans like their butter, Southern Europeans like their olive oil.
Yeah, so the table was not aware of that, and I was like, oh yeah, we like discussed that, and
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like, you know, some really weird.
There's also a tomato and potato line.
Is it the same line?
No, it's further north.
So they crossed the Alps with tomatoes?
Maybe it's not as far north as I thought it was.
Okay, yeah.
No. I do think it's very funny that so much European cuisine is based upon two South American plants.
And a range of mountains.
Mountains?
Whether or not butter or olive oil or
Oh,
potatoes
yeah.
or
Okay, I see
tomatoes.
what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
No. I like olives. Olives are a solid food.
They are.
Their oil is quite tasty.
Yeah, it's an even better oil. I wonder if you could refine that oil into like fuel.
I mean, anything's fuel if you're brave enough.
True, but like engine. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
Anyway, while I do that, do you want to talk about a little bit more why Bridgewater was or wasn't weird?
Sure. Let's just intersperse this episode with random anecdotes about the Bridgewater Triangle.
Well, wait, no, because I want to get to whether or not we're going to cover Bermuda and what our thoughts are eventually.
Oh, I'm gonna cover Bermuda. That's one of the few ones where I'm like, maybe there is something weird going on there. Because I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that many ships and planes could go missing without a trace.
Let's come up with a reason why that would make sense, like non-supernaturally.
Fog.
Fog, yes. Especially back in the day when radar was in its infancy, let alone before that, because you've got really warm water and
Yeah.
air hitting against cold water and air. You're going to get
That's the thing
fog.
that gets me though is like, have Bermuda Triangle disappearances become less common since the advent of GPS and since radio?
I feel like yes.
Because if they have, I feel like that largely answers the question. Because then you don't get lost. But also, how do you get that lost?
It's a larger surface area than you would think.
Yeah, I guess Bermuda is further away than
Yeah.
you can see. It's not in the Caribbean.
No, that's like hundreds of miles offshore.
Yeah, I've been there.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
One time I've been out of the country. I
No
was
way.
like 10.
Huh.
Then went there for a wedding.
Nice.
The beaches are quite nice.
Yeah, I've only seen pictures, but it
The
does.
water
look
is
like a nice
very
spot.
clear.
And
Which
plus,
is
there's-
unfortunate because when there's litter in the water, you can see it.
Yeah, that's. I'd rather see it honestly.
Yeah. It's also nice because I feel like it would be really hard to get trafficked there.
Why?
It's a very small place in the middle of the water.
Fair. So if the world goes to hell, we're going to Bermuda.
I would say give me 50 good men and I can take Bermuda.
We just need to find
I don't know
49
if we
more.
can. I don't know if we can. 49 more, or are you saying one of us isn't a good man? 50 men and one bad one.
I meant to say 48. I meant to say 48.
A few good men and Gary.
What is Aleppo?
Give me 10 good men and some climbing spikes.
And I'll tell you what Aleppo is.
I want that edited. I want somebody to do that with that scene from Game of Thrones. Give me 10 good men and some climbing spikes, and I'll show you what Aleppo is. I will say this much. To everybody who doubted me in 2016 when I said Gary Johnson should be president,
Yeah.
tell me it would not have been a better outcome. Look at yourself honestly and tell me it would not have been a better outcome.
I feel like most people are going to look at themselves in the mirror and ask the same question. Who was Gary Johnson?
Oh, God. You know how you avoid foreign policy disasters? By not knowing where the foreign is.
Where is he now? What's Gary Johnson doing?
He's probably smoking a joint on his balcony.
I hope
Like,
he
that is almost certainly what he's doing.
You know who should run in 2028?
Who?
Gary Johnson with VP Jeb Bush.
Oh, my God. That's basically what he did in 2016. Bill Weld was basically just Jeb Bush.
Yeah, but we didn't get
That's true.
the cherished Hood vote for me. Or no, please clap.
Please clap. Yeah, no, I mean, that was the thing, is everybody was like, he doesn't know where Aleppo is. And I was like, good. Can't bomb it if you don't know it's there.
Yeah.
My favorite is the blank map of Syria, or the blank map of the Middle East without any border lines, and just says, show me on this map of the Middle East where Gary Johnson's Aleppo comment hurt you.
Incredible.
I know where Aleppo is. Do you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't. Exactly.
I think it's like, my guess would be that it's in like northern Afghanistan.
Gary Johnson, they'd be like, what are you going to do about the situation in Gaza? And he'd be like, what's Gaza?
I'm curious if my instinct is right. Oh, it's in Syria. Okay, so I was totally wrong.
Where did you think it was?
I thought it was in Afghanistan.
Oh, good God.
Oh, I was thinking of Restrepo.
Stretto?
Stiletto?
Amaretto? We found the right intern, to be
We
fair.
did.
That was,
We did.
She said triangle for those who couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Um,
We got to get you an intern, Cam.
the Syrian triangle.
That's basically just Syria.
That's fair.
Oh.
And Iraq.
Are we gonna? Is this gonna turn into a geopolitics podcast?
Not a serious one.
No, we'll just stick up like picture of Steven in the center of the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime any of us says something that's heinous, we'll just like have to go like apologize to it.
I'm so sorry, Stephen.
Yeah. We'll have him.
Can we put him on, like... Can we... I'm going to try and say this in a way that's not bad.
Uh-huh.
You've seen a crucifix, right?
Where are we going with this?
We find another shape, and we put a statue of Stephen on it.
What about a triangle?
Stephen on a...
Yeah.
The Stakuya triangle?
Yes. I think it works.
Oh, boy. We just, like, instead of nails, it's, like, just handcuffs.
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy handcuffs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do it. It just hangs right there.
He definitely doesn't watch this show, so we have to make
Yeah,
this
no.
prior to the next filming
Oh,
of History
definitely. And then
Unhinged.
not mention it to him at all.
But put it on the table
Yeah.
or like under the History Unhinged sign
yeah.
upstairs, and he'll just, what is that?
We can all... We can also, you know how like Catholic crucifixes have like the beaded necklace to hang, like to wear.
Yeah.
Just get him one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who I bet could make us one is Faith.
Mm,
Little
yeah.
clay yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing this.
I can just imagine.
Nobody tell Steven.
Yeah, don't tell Steven. I can just
Not tell
imagine him like you handing it to him and he'd be like, oh, good God, what is this?
Yeah. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And then I'll force it. I'll wear it at War of the Barons.
Yes. Yes. Oh, this is. You're witnessing
Wait.
war.
For the record, I am Christian. I'm allowed to make jokes about this. Don't pull. Is that going to be the Witcher one?
No.
Okay. I guess that's a cross.
Well, it's a compass rose.
Yeah. Well, if Jesus died for our sins, what did Stephen die for?
Our
Kinks.
yes.
He died for our kinks.
Yes.
There we go.
Love it.
No,
he lived for our kinks.
The fact that one of them got a sponsorship from a company that sells equipment for that is hilarious to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Incredible. Truly incredible. If you haven't watched History Unhinged, I gotta say, I'm not tooting my own horn, probably the funniest show we've ever made.
Yeah, I gotta say, Alex just said your Stakuya impressions are surprisingly on point. You gotta remember, we do a show with him.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with Steven.
Yeah.
Also, he got so sad when he found out he wasn't going to be here for karaoke night last time.
Yeah, we gotta make sure
We got to
that
make
doesn't
sure
happen
he's here
again.
for karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
we
do
gotta figure out
not
when we're gonna
remember
do that
us
again.
doing Shipping Up to Boston.
When?
Exactly. We did Shipping Up to Boston at karaoke the first time they were up here for History Unhinged. We did it.
Including me?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently we got a little saucy that night.
All right. I'm having vague memories?
Uh-huh.
Oh, right, because he really wanted to do it.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, yeah, it's coming back now.
Oh boy. That was it was a time. That was an evening.
It always is.
It always is. Also, there's something goes wrong every time they're up here. This past time, I booked them an Airbnb to stay in, and the Airbnb map showed it as being in an apartment building I used to live in, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. That'll be a solid spot. I know that place. Granted, this place is currently trying to charge me $1,600 in move-out expenses that I don't owe them, and also, fun fact, Phoenix Village here in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, they style themselves a luxury apartment complex. State-of-the-art security. They haven't changed the front door entrance code in 5 years. They always keep one of the gates open into the parking garage. And while you do need a key fob or that security code that everybody in town knows to get in the front door, or any of the side doors you need a key fob, you can just walk in under the open gate and then walk up to any of the stairwell doors and go inside. There are no security cameras in the building. They do say that they're going to upgrade the gym to everybody who looks into the place. They have never upgraded the gym, and in fact, it's somehow gotten worse. When they opened, they said they were going to have a pool. It apparently took them like 9 months to open a pool. They charge you through the nose for parking. The amenity deck has a fire pit that hasn't worked in 4 years. And if you live on one quarter of the building, you can hear the music from Sedona Tap House at all hours of the night.
Ask him how he knows all these things.
I lived there.
And?
I am going to be writing the most scathing Google review ever seen. Yeah, I've been fighting them for months.
Yep.
Scully Company, everybody. Did you know that Phoenix Village is managed by Scully Company, which is a nationwide property management company? And every single thing I just said is not only true, but will be backed up by approximately a quarter of this town. Yeah, I got another call from the collections agency today. That's why I'm mad.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Do you want to explain that little lore?
They are trying to charge me $1,600 in move-out expenses. This is beyond the $500 deposit.
Yep.
About 500 of those I'll say are legitimate, mostly for a little bit for junk removal and some for carpet replacement, because Ella tore a piece of carpet. Probably didn't have to replace the entire carpet, but I get it. Here's the thing. They charged me to replace both carpets in the apartment, one of which was not damaged. I have asked them for proof that it was damaged, or at least proof that it was replaced. I have received neither. They charged me about $500 for that. My favorite, however, is that they charged me twice for utilities, for water and sewer. One of those times was for like $28. I wasn't living there for the month they charged me for that. Whatever. Then they charged me a second time for the same month for $298. During a month I didn't live there. At no point while I was living there was the water and sewer more than I think 30. I would have had to have left the shower on the entire month, nonstop, to rack up anywhere near that amount of money in water and sewer. I have asked for proof that that much water and sewer was used. No, none given. I asked the collections company, I was like, hey, do you guys have any proof that these charges are legitimate? And they just sent me the invoice from Phoenix Village. And I was like, no. I have that. I want proof that those charges are legitimate. Like invoices from the companies that they were charged by to do that. Nothing. Crickets. They also charged me $300 in rent. I had already paid the rent for that month in full. Also, I had an agreement with the previous management that because I was lied to about not having any downstairs neighbors, when in fact I had a downstairs neighbor that was a restaurant, I was told that I could leave at any time, and that I would be paying no fees to do so. And if you're not bottom tier IQ, if your IQ is above the floor of the Marianas Trench, you can realize that the intention there was you can leave at any time. They insisted that I give them 60 days notice. And then they were like, you know what, we'll drop it down to 30 for you. So I was like, you know what, fine. Here's the rent money for December. Here you go. I'm moving out. Goodbye. And they despite the fact that I was not there for the entire month of December, forced me to pay rent for it, and then tried to charge me for $300 in water and sewer for that month. And I just found out that I have been the one footing the electricity bill for that apartment since I moved out, because they never stopped service. And if you'll recall, Pico doesn't work. So even though I filled out the stop service form, it never did so. So I finally went and looked, and I saw on my bill, I was like, why have I been paying for Pico for over there? Finally stopped service this week, but I've been paying like $25 a month in Pico, which does tell me one thing, Aiden. You know what it tells me?
Nobody's in that apartment.
Nobody's in that apartment. So, count your days, Scully. I don't think you're doing so well. And you'll be doing worse very soon. Because if I end up having to pay that $1,600, not only will I see you in court, but I'll also be writing a very angry Google review. And potentially complaining to the borough. And I know the mayor. Do you know the mayor?
Yeah, it's a good point. Everyone knows the mayor here.
Does the mayor like them?
Probably not.
Exactly.
If you haven't been out partying,
Dude,
with the mayor,
I
he
will
doesn't like
happily post on the town Facebook group and be like, hey, anybody else got horror stories about Phoenix Village? I'm writing a letter.
you.
Yeah, luxury apartment complex.
Yeah, I don't know. Luxury is kind of one of those things that is a bit of a overused and
Yeah.
undeserved term lately.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, count your days, Scully. I have been talked out of personally insulting the property manager.
It's for the best.
I just wanted to see her cry.
I know you did.
And I would have made her cry. You know this.
I do know this, and I'm glad that you've been talked out of it.
I am capable of being quite mean when I need to be.
You are. It's a good thing that you're not usually.
It's better to be a warrior in a garden.
Yes, or a troll in a field, I guess. a troll in a studio.
There's not a good. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. What is the? How do you finish out the troll in a studio? It's better to be a troll in a studio than a podcaster in a troll den.
Yeah.
It's better to be a troll in a studio than a podcaster on High Hrothgar, I suppose.
A podcaster under a bridge.
That'd actually be kind of sick.
Are we gonna do one of these from underneath a bridge now?
Might as well.
We could. There's several in town.
Yeah. Thought about jumping off them.
That's bad.
What? When you got to pay $1,600 to Scully Company, you see how you feel. Scully, more like scummy, am I right? Got him. Put Scully in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Anyway, we should probably get the super chats.
Probably.
Because we have to film an ad after this.
Oh, we do, don't we?
We do. Next is for
Somebody
199
delete
says-
me.
What's that? Hey guys, always good to see you. Always good to see you.
Good to see you too.
A7XM Shadows 19 for 499 says, I do not fear triangles. Nay, I fear more power shapes like the Pentagon. Yeah, that's valid. I think it meant to say more powerful shapes, like the
Probably.
Pentagon, but it said power.
Yeah. Do you think it? No, I can't. I can't. This is a family show.
Exactly. Yeah, we were.
Why would
muted.
you say that to me? Why would you use slurs on the show?
Oh, I thought I was saying slopes.
Everybody, he just called me during Pride Month.
Horrid. But I would say top.
Oh my god. Good lord.
The real William White has been a member for 13 months.
Ooh, thank you. Yeah. See, and one of those months must have been Sloth Month.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I think Sloth Month is?
Probably December, because I would argue that November is Gluttony Month.
Yeah, November's gluttony.
Yeah.
January, I think, is
Envy.
yeah,
Because everybody else got Christmas presents and yours weren't as good.
fair. I think March is probably sloth.
You think?
It's still cold, and like everyone is just waiting for spring.
Uh-huh.
So you're just bundled up, waiting for everything to thaw.
What do you think Greed Month is?
April, tax season.
Ah. And it's the government that's greedy.
Yep.
What are the other ones?
Well, lust is February for sure.
Wrath.
Wrath is May when you get your tax return back.
Envy, wrath, greed, sloth, pride, gluttony.
Well, it's 7, right?
Yeah. What's the last one?
Lust? No, we already did
I
that.
already did lust. 7 deadly sins. What are they again? Also, I love how like the actual reality of the 7 deadly sins is that you'd have medieval like religious books that were like, these are 7 deadly sins. And then you'd have another one's like, and these are 7 other deadly sins. Like there weren't 7 specific deadly sins.
Oh, I see. These are just from
Pride,
Dante.
greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. Did I just count wrong?
I think we may have. This is why
This is not the math lodge.
I'm dating an engineer. I'm not one. I'm not good at math. None of us here are.
Also, given the time, would it be lust as in like lust, or would it be lust as in like several lusty men going ashore?
You're gonna have to give the Roanoke context here.
You just did.
Not enough.
Okay, so I was reading a book about Virginia in the early days, the 1610s, and somebody was writing about the Roanoke colony, which was in the 1580s, and they were like, yeah, was it John White? It's been a while. I think so.
Yeah.
Captain John White needed some men to go ashore and see what had happened, so he selected several lusty men, which at that time meant like brave or ambitious or like passionate.
Like a lust for adventure.
Yeah, but in a modern context, it sounds like there was a different mission. Yeah.
William Martin for $20. Thank you. Says,
Thank you.
What are the Aiden's favorite CODs specifically for zombies? Probably the original Black Ops 2.
Nothing about what you just said made sense.
Wasn't there another
The original Black Ops 2.
set of them?
First of all, Black Ops 2 was neither the original Black Ops nor the original Zombies. It was World at War.
No. Didn't they do another version of Black Ops and Black Ops 2?
No, that's Modern Warfare that they did that with.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I thought they did it with the new Black Ops
No.
Black Ops thing. So then Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I think I'd probably say. I think the one I played the most was probably Black Ops 2, but that might have been an issue of when I was playing.
I didn't really play much zombies. I played the original Modern Warfare 3 Survival.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was a much bigger fan of Survival.
Yeah.
I wish they'd bring it back. That was. I have so many good memories of just sitting on Tommy's couch in the basement, playing survival mode. We got
Yep.
to wave 90 on Seatown once.
That's insane.
The only reason we never did it again. We were never able to do it. It took us 6 hours.
Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah.
The only reason we died is that my mom called and was like, "Hey, you got to come home for dinner." And I was like, "Mom, you don't understand. We're about to do something magical." And she was like, "No, you can't stay out to play video games. If you do, you're grounded." So Tommy and I jumped into the well on Seatown. We went out on our own terms.
Incredible.
Yeah. We could have gone another 10 to 20 rounds, I think.
That's insane. I only ever played the France
We were
map.
like top 500 in the world
That's insane.
on that map. Yeah.
Yeah, I only ever played that France map. I can't remember what it was called.
I can't remember it either. I know which one you're talking about, though.
Because there was that
Did you
little
hole-
corner.
you'd hole up in the one building behind, like in the kitchen, probably.
No.
No?
It was outside in the corner with 2 staircases leading up to it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so as soon as
Helicopters, dude.
then we'd go under the awnings.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, other than the helicopters, it was the best spot because
Yeah.
you'd see their heads before they could shoot at you.
That's true.
So,
We would just post up in that one like apartment that had the kitchen on the one end
yeah.
and just like peek out of it with 2 sentry guns.
Oh yeah, no, we eventually, we did start doing that. Yeah.
Oh, I miss it.
Yeah.
Seatown was great though because there was the one corner of the map where there was a building and you had there was a bar in it,
Mm.
and we would just have the sentry guns next to us and sit behind the bar
Oh, that's
and-
fun.
with just machine guns and just
Yeah.
good times.
Oh, that's good stuff. AZ Cosplays for $5 says, "Do the lads say trans rights?" Yes.
Which kind of trans?
Like Pride Month trans.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's transmission.
Horrible. Read the room.
I can't read.
Yeah, it's valid. We did think on Saturday morning after the archery place, Wags and I were in the truck on the way
Oh,
back.
you're gonna transition?
No. We may have discovered that I may actually be vaguely dyslexic. No, dyslexic.
Where's this going? How is this connected to what? Okay, sure.
What did you say after read? I said read the room.
Oh, I can't read.
Yes.
Oh, this makes more sense now.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand how this is connecting.
Yeah. Well, you said I
It's like,
can't
are you
read, and I
coming out
said
right
I
now?
might be dyslexic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. That doesn't surprise me too much.
Yeah. And it might explain why I'm a slow reader.
Yeah.
So it was just surprising because I never I don't
Definitely.
the letters don't jumble for me, but
Uh-huh.
like sometimes when writing things, they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's dyslexia. I don't know what it is. Because I was talking about how like when doing math problems, I
Uh-huh.
understood all the equations perfectly. But for some random reason, I would turn an 8 into a 9 somewhere in the middle of the problem
Uh huh.
and not notice it until the test was over.
You know there is a math dyslexia, right?
Yes.
Dyscalculia.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody in the comments tell me.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, do what you want to do.
You be you. Nate Mason for $5.69 says, "First time catching the podcast live. Any idea when, if History Unhinged will be added to audio platforms?" Yes, when I have time.
We're literally, I keep saying this, we are about $5,000 a month away from being able to have things where we want them to be. Not because we need to be making $5,000 a month, but because we need somebody else to be making $5,000 a month.
Yes.
It's not, we're not trying to, like, if our Patreon was to go up by $5,000 a month, we would have so much more content out in so many more places,
Yep.
but it's hard to express that without it sounding like we're begging for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just letting it ride. We'll get there. Jackson Frog for $10 says, "Chat, we must band together to bully the goon of Wendy for Weird Bible."
He's busy, we're busy.
Yeah, it's just tough to do.
We'd love to do it. It's hard to coordinate.
Yeah. Cryptic Vulpix for no money has been a member for 12 months.
Woo!
Thank you.
That's not no money. That's
No, it's whatever.
$12 over the course of a year.
Yeah, there we go. Nice. Miss Maury for $10 says, "This is for Cat. I want an all-cat show about Love Canal, Times Beach, and others, please. The Aidens are great, but Cat is queen. I want more chemical disaster explanations." Funny you say that, because she may consider doing that at some point.
Yeah.
There's a show idea that we've been kicking around for like a year and a half. It's just a matter of like whether or not that's going to work for her schedule and stuff, because she has a real job.
The more you beg, the more likely it becomes.
It's so true. So keep begging, and
Cat likes
might
it when you
happen.
beg.
Yes.
What?
Unless your name is Luna and you're begging for scraps of chicken while we're eating dinner.
That's fair. We had a movie night last night at their place, and like every 17 minutes, you just heard Kat and Aiden both go, "No, no, no,"
Yep.
because the cat is on the table.
Yeah, she'd get up on the table and then she'd just like,
She also at one point was cleaning herself and had her leg just straight up like this.
yep. Yeah, she does that. It literally, like, her back leg will be just like that, like next to her head. It's
impressive.
pretty impressive, yeah. Yeah. So some days she's just a goof. Some days she's really needy. Like today, she just kept bouncing back and forth between Kat and I, just like, meow. Give me attention. Give me attention.
Ella screamed at us at 8:30 in the morning.
I will take living in a house with something I'm allergic to that is peaceful than something that I physically am not, like, having a problem with that screams at me.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance. Sometimes Ella will just like, you'll wake up and you'll look over and you'll see her. She's standing there. Her head is resting on the mattress. Like literally just like, and if you make eye contact with her, you see the gears begin to turn. And then it's just and Archie's a star.
Yeah.
Even Archie's like, shut up.
Yeah.
But no, Ella wants to be fed at 8:30 or 9 every morning. And after that, she's totally fine to go back to sleep. And when you're nocturnal like I am, that's a frustrating way to do things, especially because Amanda works on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So Amanda has to be up very early on Saturday mornings, and I feel horrible about that, but I need my EP time. And I don't get it because at 8:30 on a Saturday morning, Ella just yells at me and I have to feed her.
What if Amanda just puts it in the bowl early before she leaves?
No, Ella will eat it at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then she'll want to poop at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's a problem. Archie, meanwhile, the other day I accidentally didn't take Archie out until 2 p.m. because he did not mention it, and I thought Amanda had taken him out in the morning. So she got home. She was like, "Has Archie been out?" And I was like, "I thought you took him out." And she was like, "No, I didn't."
I love how you also added the phrase, because he didn't mention it.
He usually
Meaning the
does.
dog.
He usually does. He'll be like, you've heard him do it.
I know, with his tongue sticking out of the
Yeah.
side of his mouth.
Like, yeah, he makes a sound.
Yep. And he does the little, like,
The little,
crescent moon, like.
oh yeah, when he gets excited, he like runs half sideways.
Yeah.
Like he does. He doesn't really know how to orient his body.
Yeah.
It's really funny. He's a silly guy.
You have to orient yourself in the world to rescue your father from the underworld.
I used that on Popcorn Crisis. Last
Did you
week.
really?
You gotta go to the underworld and rescue your father from the serpent.
The serpent, you say? What do you mean by serpent? That's the thing. One of us has to do 2017.
And the serpent is the lobster.
See, we're stuck in 2017, Peterson. If we want
Yeah.
to do 2025, Peterson, it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
by
he doesn't
that?
cry anymore. Now he's angry.
Yeah, he's just angry all the time.
Angry and confused.
Yeah. He is. He's angry.
Maybe he's just getting old.
I was going to say, like, is somebody checking up on him? Is he okay? I
It's
know.
the all meat diet.
Yeah, I know people made him angry, but, like, God, he did go through a lot.
Yeah, he
Like,
did go through a lot. I will defend him from one very specific thing, which is all the people who were like on him for when he was going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
If you've never been through Klonopin withdrawal, don't talk.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's awful.
Yeah.
Best case, you feel anxious and like paranoid constantly and your emotions are on a hair trigger. Worst case, you're having seizures. Bad times.
Yeah.
Yeah, been on Klonopin. Not fun getting off of Klonopin.
They really don't tell you the risks of a lot of medications thoroughly
No,
enough.
they do. It's just when you're in a position where you need that kind of thing, things are so bad that you will do anything to make it stop.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, which is where I was at.
Yeah.
And
We're
then
glad you're not there anymore.
Yeah, I switched to something better.
Yeah. He probably just needs that.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I'd help him out. He just needs to chill out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Rogan, get on that.
I hate how anti certain things boomers are just because they don't understand the difference between using it for a medicinal purpose and using it to go see a concert.
Yeah. Guys,
I just want to use ecstasy to go to sleep.
there's this wild thing called nuance.
Let me use MDMA to relax.
Medicinal MDMA. It's MMDMA.
Isn't that what the M stands for?
It must be.
Medicinal DMA?
Yeah. What is DMA?
I have no idea. MDMT. MGMT DMT.
They definitely have done MDMA.
MDMA, MDMA, DIM, DM, DMD, GJT. Yo,
Quaaludes.
put Donald Trump on Quaaludes.
What do you mean? Well, I was going to say he definitely was in the 80s, but I guess
Probably
not.
wasn't. He doesn't even
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah. But Musk definitely has been on at least Quaaludes since the inauguration. Oh my God. I've been saying this for months and it's finally coming out now. But oh my God, every time they'd cut to him during the inauguration, he was just like,
Oh, yeah.
it was like, yeah, dude was tripping the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, we live in a world.
We do. It's to be fair though, like that's par for the course with politicians. Politicians have always been on drugs.
Yeah.
They were on cocaine in the 1880s. They were
Everyone was
probably on cocaine in the 80s too.
Yeah. Copious amounts.
So much cocaine. Yeah, no. Roman senators would drink like 25% alcohol wine.
Just like daily.
Yeah, they'd have symposiums where they would just get absolutely sloshed, eat a whole bunch of food, and then have relations with the servant boys.
I thought that was a Greek thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Romans were like, oh, Greeks are dumb. Except when I don't want them to be.
No, the Romans were like, man, that's pretty gay, but you know what's not? Being a top.
Yeah. Triangles.
Triangles!
There we go. Yeah, Rome was weird.
Yeah,
They understood nuance.
they did. That's one way of putting it.
They understood something. They understood triangles.
They sure did.
JMO, the preacher of milk, for $2 says, hey, Mattis, look up the etymology for Aleppo. That's nice.
What?
Said, look up the etymology for Aleppo. I have no idea.
Swear
where
to
this is
God, if it's milk,
going. A chimp with.
oh my God, it's milk!
Is it really? The city of Aleppo's name, Halab, has an ancient Semitic origin believed to derive from the Proto-Semitic root, I don't know how to pronounce that, meaning to milk or milk. That is amazing. So, wait. So Gary Johnson simply asked, what
Where's
is
the
milk?
milk?
What is milk?
What's the milk?
What are the odds? Should we name this? Should we rename this show Aleppo?
I'm so upset right now.
Jama, what made you think of that? Just because we were doing etymology and it just happened to be the case? That's insane. It's milk. There is a God. That's insane. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that it would come this full circle?
The city of milk.
The city of milk.
The city I live in. The city of
milk.
milkmen. Lonely as I am,
Together we milk. I don't ever want to milk like I did that day. Take me to a place I milk. Take me all the way. Oh, wow. Don't know how I feel about that at all.
The red hot milky peppers.
The red milk chili peppers.
Oh. The milk hot chili peppers? Red hot chili milk?
Yeah, now we're talking. Oh, boy.
Red Hot Milk Peppers. That takes two of them. There's a band called Hot Milk too.
Is there?
Yeah. There's also a band called Wet Leg. I hate them.
Why?
I just don't. They used French in a song and it went viral.
Ah, there it
Yeah.
is. I'm sorry. That just reminded me of the Chocolate Rain guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Rain.
Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate Rain.
That's a deep cut. Gen
Yeah.
A is not going to get that one.
We are on YouTube.
Yeah. Gen Z might not get that one. Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good.
I thought I saw that guy on a plane like last week.
You might have.
probably did.
He's probably not dead.
Yeah, that's actually all time. All right, Arbor Irrigation Installer sent 3 in a row.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Are they coherent?
Yeah. So started my new job at the Boeing factory. First task was fixing the doors with a sawzall and ratchet straps. I slapped each and said, "That ain't going nowhere."
Good.
Twunk Aiden, meaning you, so
Okay.
apparently I am Twink Aiden, says, "We missed you last week. I know you carry a 40 S&W, so I wanted to make sure to wish you a happy Pride Month." And
Rude.
wait. And then he followed that with, y'all should follow up the Giant of Kandahar video with one about Saddam Hussein and the Babylonian Stargate and how Bush 43 started the war to capture it.
What?
Write that down, write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yes.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Bush 43 in the Babylonian Stargate. What else is so hard to understand?
Yeah. Wait, so the one that just came in is from Kellen saying, "So will the compound be in Aleppo, Syria now?"
You might have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else is using it.
It's the perfect place to start a cult.
That's true. Wait, not a cult.
Oh my god.
We're gonna sacrifice Gary Johnson to the milk god.
No. He's gonna be the king.
Fair.
No, he'll be the jester because he'll just look around and be like,
yeah.
"Where am I?"
That's fair. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Because he doesn't know where Aleppo is.
Yeah. Also, I am thinking about switching to a 10 millimeter. I've been carrying my my Smith & Wesson revolver actually.
Like open or
Yeah.
Okay.
People don't get as weird when it's a revolver.
Where have you been open carrying?
Every once in a while.
Like-
For the vibes mostly.
But like where?
Around.
Okay. It's a bold move.
Yeah. Was open carrying at a Holiday Inn recently.
Well, if it's a revolver, people probably think you're just like cosplaying, but like really lazily.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Especially with your holster.
It's a really nice holster.
It is, but it also looks like a cowboy holster.
That's fair.
So most people.
Designed that way.
Yeah.
I'm looking to have the same guy make one for the lever action.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
got matching rifle and revolver.
you know what I learned? So first of all, I watched The Searchers, which is a John Ford Western with with what's his name? The guy who's in everything. He was in True Grit.
Russell?
No. Older.
Older than Kurt Russell?
Yeah, he's dead now.
Sam Elliott?
No, he's dead now. He's the guy who talks like this. That's always a horrible impression. But,
No idea what you're talking about.
the Western guy.
John Wayne?
Yes, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm great with faces, bad with names. Anyway, The Searchers, he's in it. I learned something watching that movie. That back in the day, they had
Engines?
scabbards for rifles
Yeah.
out west that had tassels on them.
Mhm.
And I also learned what the tassels on that and on Native American dress were for.
What?
Water wicking.
No way.
Yeah. It would. The tassels would help to dry it out faster
Huh.
because all the water would run down to them, and because there was a bunch of them,
They were flipping it off.
they would
Yeah.
flip it
Nice.
off, and also like through the breeze or whatever, it would evaporate faster. So yeah,
Smart.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But it was the first time I had ever seen those scabbards, and I was like,
Yeah,
"What is that?" 'Cause
pretty cool.
Yeah, they were really sweet. Anyway, Tyler Dalrymple for 556 says, "Do you think there's any significance to the triangles, or are those areas just common transit routes with high populations? Any triangle folklore?"
I honestly don't think it's even that. I think that for some reason, triangle feels like a weird shape. Like like triangles are kind of like, I think a lot of it has to do with Bermuda Triangle, first of all.
Yeah.
But also I think people think triangle and for some reason go to a place where it's like, and maybe it is association with Bermuda, but
I think it's also that. I think it's also because it's literally the simplest shape.
yeah.
It's the like a shape requires at least 3 points. Because
And I think
otherwise it's
that's
a line.
probably all it really is that
Yeah.
3 points that you triangulate.
Yeah.
So it's probably that. It's triangulation. You triangulate the disappearances and things like that. Bridgewater, there's nothing to it. Bennington, there's nothing to it. Bermuda, maybe. I don't know. Alaska, that's too big of a triangle.
Yeah.
I think people have pattern-seeking brains,
Yeah.
and they use them too much.
Pattern seeking brain go burr. Ellen the Howler Werewolf Queen for $50. Thank you. Says, missed my chance to send this last week, but get Kat something nice from me. I really enjoyed seeing a new point of view. Would you please invite her back? 100% if she'll have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat can come back.
Vampire from Pluto for $2 says, happy Men's Mental Health Month. Take care, y'all.
Oh, I forgot that it's Men's Mental Health
I
Month.
keep forgetting that
Men's
too.
Mental Health Month. And I think it's also Veterans Month.
Really?
I think I was hearing that. I don't know if that's an official thing or something people were trying to make happen.
I swear, there's too many months.
We gotta scale everybody back to a day.
Yeah.
Like everyone, blanket. Nobody gets a full month. There's not enough of those. Too much overlap. Got 365 days.
Well, you're going to have to share at some point.
Yeah, I know, but you got to share a lot less frequently if it's a day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, Jesus gets 2. That makes sense. Martin Luther King gets 1. We gave 1 to several presidents. Like they all share 1.
Oh, yeah, President's Day.
Yeah. We did something really funny and made Hitler's birthday Weed Day.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know. I think that's funny personally.
It is. I'm just wondering what the response would have been.
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. What else is there a day for? Memorials.
Memorials.
We have one for veterans. We have one for
Yes.
labor.
Yes.
And then for some reason,
Independence.
yeah, we have an independence one. Then we have another independence one in June now.
What?
Juneteenth,
Oh, right.
which is when we told the South it's finally over.
Yeah. It's Jover.
It was Jover. Yeah. We were like, get reconstructed, bitch.
Yep.
Mhm.
Get unionized, nerd.
Yeah, and then they were like, we're going to do a KKK. And we were like, why would you do that?
Yeah. It's like we were going to laugh at you because you look stupid and kill
Why
you.
are you dressed like that?
Yeah.
Like, you hate Catholics, but you're dressing like those Catholics in Spain do?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Silly. Very silly people.
Yes. Not the South as a whole, but anybody in the KKK, you're an idiot.
Yeah, very silly. You're wearing a big white sheet.
Yeah. It's like you want to be made fun of.
You're like, oh, I'm a spooky cone head.
You literally made yourself cones heads.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's very strange behavior. Anyway.
Vampire from Pluto, already just read that. Arbor Irrigation Installer has been a member for 13 months. Thank you. Griff for $20 says, noticed you got a 1873 Repro. I got new
Yes.
Birdie one in 45 to match my 1871 Colt. Heads up, I recommend using Cowboy loads. They are cartridges loaded with less powder, made for older designs. This should buy a box of rounds. Yes, for 45 long Colts, that's absolutely true, but he got his in 357.
Yes, mine's in 357.
Yep.
I do typically use 38 special in my revolver just because it's a K-frame, so it's like for self-defense, I'll carry 357.
Yeah.
Well, no, for bear defense, I'll carry 357. For self-defense, I'll carry 38. And for practice, I'll shoot 38. And the nice thing is the rifle does both too.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to say, from getting into archery now
Mhm.
and seeing what a compound bow can do, I'm convinced that the cartridge or caliber arguments that consistently happen mean nothing, because I've seen what a broadhead arrow can do, and
It's really more about bullet trajectory and velocity than anything.
yeah. But I mean, good shot placement's everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like you could kill a bear with a 22 if you hit it in the right spot.
Definitely, but a 357 is effective for a longer distance than a 45 long Colt.
Yeah.
Hits
Anyway.
harder. The 45 will hit harder closer, but the 357 will hit harder farther.
Yeah.
And it remains flat longer.
Yeah. Same thing with the difference between the spearhead versus the flat-sided. Anyway, William Martin says Old Republic era is greater than Empire. Couldn't agree more.
I agree.
Yeah. No, part of the reason why
I am dying to get a good, gritty Old Republic era shooter.
Well, part of the reason why I enjoy the prequels more than I do the original trilogy is just because of the environment. Like, I like the environment of the Republical era, or the Republic era, far more than I do the Empire.
I want a live-action Star Wars show that is like Band of Brothers.
Well, that's
the-
what they tried to do with Bad Batch, but that was animated.
Yeah, and Bad Batch was a little, like, later Clone Wars was more like that.
Yeah.
I want live-action Clone Wars, but it's Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Because that just... I think we all know. We all know that would be amazing.
Yep.
Also, George Lucas wanted to do, like, a Coruscant Underground Star Wars show.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
And Disney just, like, didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney, what you doing? What you doing, guys? Anyway.
Arbor's back, says, also Twink Aiden, who's your favorite Golden Girl? Probably Betty.
That's a fair answer.
Yeah.
Who asked that?
Arbor Irrigation Installer.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's hard to pick anyone other than Betty.
That's fair.
You could just keep asking us who our favorite X, Y, or Z is. That's always fun. Christian Nino for $2 says, if JD Vance is Anakin, then the Pope was Dooku. Nah.
Nah. It's because J.D. Vance killed the Pope.
No, I know. I see your point, but no, the Pope would be like one of those weird guys from like season 4 when he goes to like the Force realm and they're like 20 feet tall.
I've decided that not Kit Fisto. Who's the God? Who is the one with the tentacles on the head? The green guy.
I know who you're talking about. Hang on.
Is that Kit Fisto? Am I mixing people up?
Green Tentacle Jedi. Yeah, that's Kit Fisto.
It is Kit Fisto.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I think that's Rand Paul.
Really?
Yeah. Can't explain why.
I kind of see where you're coming from.
Yeah, just a vibe.
Who's Mace Windu? It's not Clarence Thomas.
No. Definitely a Republican. Not Thomas Massey, though.
No.
I don't know.
Not a lot of
Tim Scott's black.
Yeah, not a lot of people of color within the
Byron
Republican Party
Donald.
to choose from.
Byron Donald could work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we've got one. I don't think anybody fits that vibe. There's nobody angry enough,
Yet
but also like
badass enough.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a good angry badass. I don't think either party has that.
Who is Crenshaw?
Cody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. Not Rex.
No, Rex does the right thing sometimes.
Oh, that's fair.
Rex, when the Empire starts going downhill, is like, I can't do this. Cody's like, fascism's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
He just goes with the flow, you know? Space fascism, space communism, it's all the same to him.
Yeah. Who's Watto?
Come on. Netanyahu.
Horrible. Horrible. He might be Palpatine.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
But he's at the senator stage. Before he's emperor.
Yeah.
But then again, with the tweet, I think
Is Bernie Watto?
no. No, I think Bernie, no, he's not Yoda, but he's like, no, he's
My entire career in politics and get nothing done, I will.
yeah, yeah, kind of. He's either that or he's the guy from, he's Dex. He's Dexter Jetster.
Who?
The guy who runs
Ernie
the
is?
no, yeah, and for those who don't know, Dexter Jester is the guy who runs the diner that is friends with Obi-Wan.
Okay.
I don't know.
Have you seen the meme where they're talking about like George Lucas creating the character of Watto? And he's like, he's gonna be a money grubbing slave trader with a weird voice, a large nose, and a tiny hat.
And everybody's
He's
like,
gonna
George,
keep
you
slave
can't do
children. God, I hate them so. I mean him.
that. Yeah, yeah, and everybody's like, George, you can't do this. And then he's like, guess what I'm gonna do for the
George is like,
people?"
why?
And George is like, guess what I'm gonna do for the aliens who block the Trade Federation or the Trade Federation? And like he got concept art, actors are hired, and then it gets to the set, and everybody's like, George, please, you can't do this.
And he did anyway.
And he did.
This is getting out of hand. Now
Oh,
there
God.
are two of them.
It's horrible.
It's fantastic.
It's so bad.
Space racism. It's beautiful.
That's one way to put it. That's what we need. The whole reason we actually need aliens to land and declare war on us so everyone on Earth can actually unify.
Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love how it's like, Qui-Gon, we sent you on a diplomatic mission to prevent a war, and you came back with a slave child.
Yeah. Wait, no. I was going to say is the original Bush Qui-Gon, but no, the original Bush was just terrible all around.
No, the original Bush is Plagueis.
Yeah.
Clinton's whoever the guy before Palpatine was.
Valorum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Bush. Bush 2 is Valorum.
Yeah.
Dude was just a puppet who didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Now watch this draft.
Is Obama Windu?
No. I don't even know who Obama is.
Kid Mundi?
No, because that's Musk.
Right. I don't think Musk is a Jedi. I think he's a Hutt.
Elon the Hutt.
Yeah.
I mean, he does name his kids things that can't be pronounced in English.
Yeah. He also just like sits around and gets high all day.
Yeah, it's true. It's hard to put modern characters into Star Wars.
Yeah. Which is ironic considering it's always been political.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Star Wars did that.
Who was Palpatine supposed to be? Nixon? Johnson, maybe? I mean, Johnson knew how to use his lightsaber all right.
Yeah. I think it was probably more likely Johnson than anything, because just given the time frame, considering it's supposed to be an allegory for the Vietnam War.
Yeah. I do think it's very funny that Darth Vader's name is Darth Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What language did that come from?
German.
Yeah.
Or Dutch, maybe. But yeah.
So any
Tyrannus is just Latin.
Yep.
Sidious is insidious.
Yep.
He did not try very hard with those names.
No, but it is funny that nobody was educated enough to get it,
Yeah.
except for like.
I like how Lando Calrissian's name makes a lot more sense now.
Oh yeah. Who's Han?
Rand Paul. Yeah. There we go. Now we got it.
Oh my god.
That's who Rand Paul is.
Oh.
Han's the best character in the original trilogy by far.
Yeah. Here's the thing. One of my favorite things about living at the
also-
time that we do.
He's sadly also the best character in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, that's fair. One of my favorite things about the time living at the time that we do is all of the memes of Star Wars where you take essentially all the context out of it and you just describe it as a character or as like its own thing. So like the description of a smuggler encounters the most feared man in the galaxy who has slaughtered thousands of people and without hesitation immediately pulls out a gun to shoot him
Oh yeah, very American.
in front of his daughter, who he is currently having biblically knowing her.
I don't think they knew each other biblically at that point. Isn't that the movie where at the end Luke and Leia smooch?
No, that's at the beginning.
At the beginning of that one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, after he's rescued on Hoth in the beginning when he's getting medically treated.
Oh.
Right after that, she's like pissed at Han. 'Cause-
Right,
yeah, yeah.
right. Yeah. Incest is Wincest.
They didn't know
They didn't know.
until Yoda was like, "There is another," and Obi-Wan's like, "You could have told him."
It should have been another there is.
Yeah.
Was he just senile at that point?
No, I think it was an act. Well, we know it was an act because
Right, yeah.
you know.
But then it wasn't. The talking. Oh, yeah, the talking thing. Yeah, right. It is canon that was an act the whole time, isn't
Yeah.
it?
That was canon from that movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He does like do that a little bit, but yeah. I don't have a problem with CGI Yoda. I'm going to say it.
I liked Puppet Yoda.
It was good, but like it wouldn't have worked for the prequels.
Of all the things Disney could have done, not remastering the CGI from the prequel trilogy is probably their biggest crime. Could you imagine the prequel trilogy with CGI on par with the sequel trilogy?
Yeah, it'd be pretty sick. It's not
Yeah.
that bad though. Like some
There were points where they CGI'd things that did not need to be CGI.
Yeah, but that was Lucas.
Yeah, I know. Also, I learned today that ILM did Terminator,
Yeah.
which explains everything about how good Terminator looks.
Yeah, no, basically any good CGI from the 90s was ILM.
I miss those days when I was an egg.
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 Anyway, we got to get through these
Yeah.
super chats. Christian Nino for $2 says, if JD Vance is we already did that. Duo Black Rose says, have either of you been tested for autism? Not formally.
No. My little brother is like autistic. Like autistic.
Like actually, like not
Yeah.
jokingly.
Yeah. So I would almost feel bad claiming to be autistic knowing what he struggles with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Duo, we need to send you a number of shirts. I did get your email. I just have not responded to it because I am a ridiculously busy man. But I will. It is in my mind, and I plan on doing it.
Fair.
Also, we can order them for and keep them here. And if you want to pick them up at Bloodfest, then feel free because I know
Yeah,
you're local.
I just sent that email today
What email?
to Bunker asking for shirts and stuff for Blobfest.
Sweet.
Yep. Babar Kabiri, I hope I pronounced that vaguely correctly,
Probably didn't.
gave us $20.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Alex Onley for 1911, nice, says, if you guys find the energy to add another channel or podcast, I propose the War Lodge to discuss historical battles and for your hodgepodge armies to battle. That'd be fun.
That's kind of what History Unhinged is.
Yeah, on occasion.
Yeah, I would definitely, if you haven't seen History Unhinged, check that out. I do think that Steven and I are going to have to do some Rome 2 Total War battles against
Yes.
each other on stream.
Yes. James Hirata for $9 or $9.99 says, y'all need to have Dr. Jeff Meldrum on the show to talk about relict hominids like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And I think he presents in a compelling scientific perspective. I'd also recommend Jimmy Akin as a
Yeah.
guest.
I can reach out to Meldrum. I'll try.
Yeah, we
I need to get back and actually do the video on the science behind Bigfoot.
yeah. Also, like, we used to have guests, but then we got even more busy because we started doing more
That's one of the
shows.
things we need somebody working for us to do is set those up.
We'll figure that out. Next is for $9.99 says, it's not a triangle, but there's an oval on the East Coast with more undead ghoul sightings than anywhere else. It's also known as the Oval Office.
Huh?
Yep. Write it down. Write that down. Write that down.
Oval
Also saying that we should do a
office?
yeah. Also saying we should do a collab with Bob Giblin, the YouTuber,
I have heard.
which yeah, we keep, There we go.
Paranormal oval, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Also,
What?
Miranda Davis for $5. Oh yeah, my mom's in there saying, Aiden, my son at least is not autistic. I can confirm that.
I'm sorry, Mary Beth, but if it's either of us, I am not the one who got distracted and went and watched a train for 15 minutes when he was supposed to be doing his job.
Sometimes you just gotta relax and watch one go by.
Yep. East Coast Oval.
Miranda Davis for 513 says, chipping in for snacks, whether or not you guys or the pups, it is up to you. Y'all are my type of people. Thank you. Welcome. We hope you hang around.
Yeah. I'm still trying to find the Oval. Okay, sorry.
No, I'm just, that's me saying I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
Duo Black Rose for 10
Hey.
bucks. Yeah. Duo Black Rose for 10 bucks says, if you go on Google Maps and look at the intersection of Fairview Road and Creek Road in PA near Glenmore, you will find Bigfoot.
What was it?
Fairview Road and Creek Road near Glenmore. It's in Pennsylvania.
We'll see Bigfoot?
Yes. They did?
I'm assuming, based on what I'm seeing, that there is a Bigfoot, like...
It'd be great if someone just, like somebody just stuck their foot up against the Google Maps car camera.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing... I do see a Jeep that looks very similar to mine. That's frightening.
That is very similar. But you wouldn't be in Glenmore for anything.
No. I'm guessing there's like an aluminum Bigfoot silhouette somewhere here.
That'd be pretty great. Also, Jackson Fogg says, for the glory of Mattis the Messiah, we shall take Bermuda for the glory of the cult.
For the glory of the ranch.
If it's on Bermuda, it's going to be a lot easier for me to enjoy.
That's true. See that, you know...
I didn't like that.
Did not like that at all. We said for the glory of the cult, and Siri piped up
Yep.
and was like, can you say that again? Yeah, you know, are you aware of a character known as Lord Miles?
No. From what?
Twitter mostly, but I first came across him like a couple of years ago, and he was hanging out with the Taliban, which is a whole thing. He was like traveling. He's kind of like a neo-Nazi now. I don't really know what's going on there.
I'm glad I don't know this person.
I don't know him. I just
Of this person.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
of this person.
Anyway, point is, he was trying to organize a group of people to go take Haiti.
Why?
It probably wouldn't be that hard.
No, but like, that doesn't... Okay.
I mean, for obvious reasons, when you're aware of what he believes as a person.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good point. He doesn't
Yeah,
value
but,
human life.
Yeah, no. There are several islands out there that it would not be difficult for like 50 guys with weapons to take.
Yeah. I'd rather hunt down the hippos in the Amazon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
We just got to get to Tahiti. Yeah, you haven't played Red Dead 2, have you?
No.
Okay, well.
Kellen says, been through the Bermuda Triangle twice submerged. Nothing special happened.
That's because you were under it.
Yeah. My theory is that it's just ships and planes lost to storms. Which,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Almost certainly, actually. Yeah, I'm going to bet because one of the things that's weird is like the compasses were not working right in like some World War II planes. And it's like, yeah, probably because they were analog and in a storm, there's a lot of electrical activity,
That's
which
true.
is electromagnetic activity that would probably cause whatever. So I don't know. That's just my off the cuff guess.
Ah,
Wizards Workshop for $20. Thank
what
you.
a name.
Says, will the small quips between you two and followers wait, what? With the small quips between you two and followers, how tall are you two? Just for fun, would love to see you guys do a deep dive into a fictional universe's lore history like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Dune, Supernatural. We've been talking about doing that for a while.
Yes, we've just never gotten around to it. I
Yeah.
will say we did several of those on horror movies
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
couple
we
of years ago. So we did one on Jason Voorhees, the Blair Witch, Freddy Krueger, and I feel like there was one other one. Was there?
Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Blair Witch. I thought there was one more too.
Maybe there wasn't.
The Bell Witch, I think I'm thinking.
Yeah, but the Bell Witch is another thing.
Yeah, no, I know.
Deeply
Oh,
depressing
oh.
how not a thing the Bell Witch is.
We did Harry Potter, but that
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't count.
Yeah, the millennial bait did not take on the Harry Potter one.
Nah, it's because it was after Christmas, and Harry Potter's like a before Christmas thing.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but it is. And you know who's to blame for that? ABC Family.
That's true, yeah.
Tyler Dalrymple
You
for
don't do that to family.
you don't. Incredible. 1191 says, well, Tyler Dalrymple for 1191 says the missing.
Oh. My lower back just went in a significant way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with that for days.
Oh, yeah, and my rib. That one rib.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that fixed vaguely, slightly.
Yeah, the rib's still pretty bad.
The missing Air Force squad in Bermuda right after World War II is super explainable. The lead guy was originally stationed in the Florida Keys. He got confused and thought he was in the Gulf. They kept going east to sea. Ah,
The plane disappearances make more sense to me than the boat ones.
yeah,
Because a plane, you run out of fuel, you're done.
yeah.
Boat, you got a chance.
If the seas are calm. Well,
And
no,
if your
'cause-
radio works.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of things to run into out there. You'd be surprised.
The whale?
The whale. The whale. Wolf Lord Bran, for member 2 months, says, as someone with a birthday right by Christmas, yes, December is envy because everyone else gets 2 presents and you get 1, and you hate them all for it.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember as a kid being very jealous of my Jewish classmates because they got 8 days of presents, but then I found out that usually they got like socks.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm not jealous of them anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Also, origin story for Hanukkah is so much more metal than anybody realizes as a child.
How so?
It comes from the Maccabee revolt
Okay.
against the Seleucid Empire. Can't remember the details well enough off the top of my head to talk about it right now, but like, actually pretty sick.
I like it. Maybe we should do a deep dive in that next year.
Yeah, we can do that. Old Testament lore goes hard.
Yeah. Sleepy Nocturne for $10 says, hey, Lord Lads, can we get a Bible passage you think should be heard today? Also, not a fun fact, tooth fairies are the non-predatory species of the bone fairy. That actually makes sense.
There was a lot.
Well, hang on.
No, don't, no, not.
Specifically asked for it. You get your version. I get mine in the
I
message.
don't even know. I can't think. I'm too tired.
No,
for
just
this right
open random. Open to something random. And
now.
we'll
I
read
opened
it
to
them.
Psalms. That feels.
I also opened to Psalms.
Oh boy.
Psalms 120.
Go on.
In my distress I cry to the Lord that he may answer me. Deliver me, O Lord, from lying lips, from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given to you? And what more shall be done to you, you deceitful tongue? Oh, this is going to be good in the message. A warrior's sharp arrows with glowing coals of the broom tree. What? This isn't even the message yet. Woe is me that I sojourn in Meshech, that I dwell among the tents of Kedar. Too long have I had my dwelling among those who hate peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. All right.
You know, that actually was kind of relevant.
Yeah.
That was a relevant one.
It's almost like it.
I went for Psalm 23, which Christians will be familiar with. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. A Psalm of David.
You know, the message one really isn't that bad. There's a couple funny bits, but it starts off, I hate the two-faced, but I love... Wait. Wait. You ready?
Uh-huh.
But I love your clear-cut on Revelation, or your clear-cut revelation. You're my place of quiet retreat. I wait for your word to renew me. Get out of my life, evildoers, so I can keep my God's commands. Take my side as you promised. I'll live then for sure. Don't disappoint all my grand hopes. Stick with me and I'll be all right. I'll give you total allegiance to your definitions of life. Expose all who drift away from your sayings. Their casual idolatry is lethal. You reject Earth's wicked as so much rubbish. Therefore, I lovingly embrace everything you say. I shiver in awe before you. Your decisions leave me speechless with reverence. Yeah, not horrible.
Yeah, no. May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Am I going to be upset?
Probably.
I'm
Would you say
usually
Psalm
upset by
20?
the message 23, which is one of the better known ones. Just felt relevant at the time. Where is it? 22. No, I came across 22 is the famous my God, why have you forsaken me?" that Jesus quotes on the cross,
Yeah.
which is
We did pick the right
yeah,
answer.
I know we
Yeah.
did. But in the actual Bible, it's my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? Oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and I am not silent. It goes on for a lot more than that. Anyway, it's Jesus is echoing it because it appears that he's being killed on the cross, but you should have faith in God anyway. Like, everybody gets it confused because they're like, well, if he's God, why is he calling out to God? He's quoting the Old Testament for his followers to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I see Muslims trying to make arguments about that a lot of the time, and they should probably read the book first. Yeah, in the message, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? God, God, my God, why did you dump me miles from nowhere?
Oh boy.
Doubled up with pain, I call to God all the day long. No answer, nothing. I keep at it all night, tossing and turning.
Isn't he actively on the cross?
Not in the psalm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not good. Anyway, 23. There we go. God, my shepherd, I don't need a thing. You have bedded me down in lush meadows. You find me quiet pools to drink from. True to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. This feels like Hillsong. Even when the way goes through the valley of... Even when the way goes through Death Valley.
No way.
The California Bible be like, I am not afraid. When you walk at my side, your trusty shepherd's crooks makes me feel secure. You serve me a 6-course dinner right in front of my enemies. You revive my drooping head. My cup brims with blessing. Your beauty and love chase after me every day of my life. I'm back home in the house of God for the... You know what we have to do with this translation, right? God, my shepherd,
God.
I don't need a thing. You have bedded me down in the lush meadows. You find me quiet pools to drink from. True to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. Even when the way goes through Death Valley.
Now do it as Sidious.
Even when the way goes through Death Valley, I am not afraid. When you walk at my side, your trusty shepherd's crook makes me feel secure. You serve me a 6-course dinner.
Incredible.
You serve me a 6-course dinner right in front of my enemies.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
McConaughey
Yeah.
translation.
Oh, I thought that was Clinton.
McConaughey, Clinton, Bush, they're all the same.
Yeah, that's true. They're all Southern.
They're all Southern.
All right. Sleepy Nocturne. Already answered that. Already did that. Wodos the Rat Lord for $5 says.
What a name.
I know, that's amazing.
What was it?
Wodos the Rat Lord.
Amazing.
The bar goes silent as Pyramid Head slams his drink down and reaches for his great knife. You got a problem with triangle, son?
That was a good one.
Spoopy Autumn gave us $2 and
Thank you.
said, Happy Pride Month.
Thank you.
Andrew Gilly for $2 says, by the way, today is S.X Day, being June 9th.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a nice day.
It's a nice day.
Bigglesworth223 is a new member.
Thank you. Bigglesworth?
Yeah.
223?
Yeah.
You guys are killing it with
Yeah,
the names
you
here.
guys are fantastic. Local Legends Burton Moran has been a member for 12 months.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. And Spoopy Autumn is asking if the Jason Voorhees deep dive is still around. Yeah,
It
it's
is.
up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, it's still there. But yeah, That's it.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming by and hanging out.
Yeah.
We-
Sorry we didn't talk about triangles as much as we intended to.
We never do.
We did talk about the Lord, and he is a triangle in some sense of the word.
Yeah, that's a valid point. That's actually a very yeah. Triangle, Trinity, same thing.
Yeah.
What if
The Lord, my God, is a triangle.
the Alaska Triangle is just
God?
the Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. We didn't tell him about that.
Oh
we're,
yeah.
We're considering making an entirely ad-libbed horror movie where the monster is just a triangle.
Yep. We haven't decided if it's going to be anthropomorphized or not yet.
Yeah, we might like have somebody play the triangle and then CGI the triangle in.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like reverse it.
yeah, have it just be like like what was the line we were gonna have be at the end?
Oh, it was going to be it was just improv. It's always been improv.
Yeah, probably gonna shoot the whole thing in Valley Forge.
Yeah. One take.
We should have Peter be the triangle.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
He'd
he'd be a
perfect,
very good triangle.
yeah. That's true. We did hire the right intern.
Yes, we did hire the right intern.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go film an ad.
Oh God, I don't want
I know I don't want to either, but we have to.
to.
We want to get paid.
Why can't they just let us use an
If
old?
we want to
mic?
pay her, we have to
Yeah,
do
true.
the ad.
She's being paid.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that part.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting a free intern.
No, I mean she's given us 135 hours of her time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's for her sake.
It's for everyone's sake.
I have to pay for the class.
You do?
Yeah,
That is insane.
thank you, Westchester.
Wait. So Westchester is making you pay to work for us,
Yeah.
and we're also having to pay.
You don't have
Well, I know, but you get my point. Like,
Yeah, we're still gonna give you something.
well, yeah, I thought we were going to give her, like, a cookie. Maybe a Cliff Bar.
Valid.
That's fair. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.